With our knowledge of torque, calm down, with our knowledge of torque and angular momentum, we can now attack rolling objects which roll down a slope. For instance, the following. I have here a cylinder, or it could be a sphere for that matter, and this angle is beta. I prefer not to use alpha because that's angular acceleration. And there is a friction coefficient with the surface mu. And this object is going to roll down and is going to get an acceleration in this direction A. And I will evaluate the situation when we have pure roll. That means the object is not skidding and is not slipping. What is pure roll? If here is an object, cylinder or sphere, this radius r, and I'm going to rotate it like this, roll it in this direction, center is called point Q.
Yeah. Berangkat.
Oh, fuck. God damn it.
Traficada bufulet.
Early in my career as a freelancer, I was a late night worker. Not like a prostitute. I would just procrastinate through the day until I couldn't put off my work any longer. I'd often be up past 2 a.m. It wasn't until I started living with my partner Natalie that I decided to shape my schedule around hers. It's at that point that I fell in love with early mornings. There's something special about watching the sunrise with a cup of coffee. Even in a city like Los Angeles, things seem to go quiet in the morning. Well, not all the time. I usually wake up between 6 and 7 a.m., but my schedule fluctuates. I wondered how much more productive could I be if I forced myself to wake up at 5 a.m. every single day for 30 days. How much more could I get done? How would it change my life? It didn't go as planned. So I'm going to be setting up my alarm for the 30 days of waking up at 5 a.m. How many hours of sleep do you need each night? We're going to go with 8 hours. So my plan is to go to bed at 9 p.m. every night. Let's see how this works out. Getting to bed by 9 p.m. isn't a problem. I'm getting kind of old anyway, and Nat and I for a long time were going to bed around 9 o'clock, so this is nothing new. Waking up early isn't an excuse to neglect sleep. The research is clear. The serious consequences of getting less than 7 hours of sleep per night is severe. According to Matthew Walker's best-selling book, Why We Sleep, the shorter you sleep, the shorter your lifespan. The old maxim, I'll sleep when I'm dead, is therefore unfortunate. Adopt this mindset and you will be dead sooner, and the quality of that shorter life will be worse. The real challenge here isn't waking up at 5 a.m. It's getting 8 hours of sleep. There was an adjustment period for the first week. It was a bit like jet lag, and my sleep quality wasn't the greatest for the first couple of nights. I had to get used to going to bed at a different time than Nat. Good night, honey. Enjoy The Bachelor. But after a couple days, I felt a lot more like myself, and my mornings started to get a lot more productive. Then I had to deal with real jet lag. I'm heading home to New Jersey, which is 3-hour time difference. So just as I've finally gotten adjusted to these mornings, now I'm going to have to completely reset. This is probably going to be the biggest test so far.
Nu, Doamne, ce te-au coptut de ai venit pe aici? Nu.
Domnule, aici m-a lăsat un domn, că nu m-a lăsat în stat aici. Că normal mă duceam la 1, era acolo.
That's just a rule of mine, never leave an apartment with a banana.
Hai și tu zice lei ceva.
No, it's not, because then you have the skin that you have to get rid of, and then you just hold on to it. practice. Only 45-minute drive. Yeah.
You weren't just upset, you were so frustrated.
I decided to catch up with my sleep. And this is what happens to me all the time. When I try to wake up early,
Păi și, doamne, te duci la job sau
Da.
lasă acolo în intersecție?
Aici, acum luați curba.
Da.
Mulțumesc.
De ce nu?
really unproductive week. One of the most unproductive weeks of my life. I started to build a bit of a morning routine here at 5 a.m. that works for me. And a part of that is by 5:30 a.m. I'm on my way to go to the gym to get a workout in. And I found that since the sun, at least right now, it doesn't rise until 7 a.m. It's really difficult for me to feel motivated, to feel like I have the energy to do really creative work first thing in the morning. So if I go to the gym, I can get more energy, I feel good, I've gotten something personal for myself done at the beginning of the day, and then by the time I get home, shower, around then the sun's starting to come up and coffee, and I'm ready to actually get to work. So it turns out that waking up at 5 a.m. every day did change my life. It just happened to be in a negative way. While I did have about 7 hours and 53 minutes in bed every night, I didn't get 8 hours of sleep. In fact, it usually takes me about 30 minutes to get to sleep, so I probably got much less than I needed. I noticed that my energy levels weren't as high as normal. And while I did eventually put together a routine that worked for me, going to the gym in the morning and then eventually getting to work by 7 a.m., I wasn't any more productive than I normally am. And there was just too much that I sacrificed. You can ask Natalie. I mean, she sacrificed a little bit too.
I thought it was complete bull. I'm exhausted.
Why are you exhausted?
Because you've been waking me up at 5 a.m. every morning. I did not opt into this challenge. Like next month with meditation, yes, I'm rather excited to do that with you. This was not a challenge I opted into, I was forced into.
One of the things that I love most about running my own business is having a flexible schedule. I'm glad that I experimented with this ridiculously strict 30-day challenge because I know that I'm actually not missing out on anything. And I'm excited to get back to my regular routine of waking up between 6 or 7 a.m. because, well, life can get in the way. Thanks for watching. Do you want to join me for future 30-day challenges? If so, subscribe to my newsletter, mattdiavella.com/newsletter. There's a link down in the description. You can also find out through social media on Instagram and Twitter. There's also a link down there. Now, if you enjoy this video, if you want to support my channel, and if you also want additional content that I don't release anywhere else, you can get that Patreon on Patreon at patreon.com/MattDevelop. If you sign up for the exclusive videos tier on Patreon, you'll get instant access to over 20 videos, interviews, and podcast episodes, with new videos coming every month. Like my full 1-hour interview with essentialist author Greg McEwen. Get my monthly AMA podcast where I answer patron questions about creativity and minimalism, and get behind-the-scenes videos on how I make my videos. Plus, it helps me pay the bills and invest back into my videos here on YouTube, all for $12 a month. Thanks for considering. And of course, if you do not have the money to contribute, please do not feel pressured to do so. The fact that you watch my videos is enough.
Da, bună ziua.
See you next time. Last year, I had developed a bad habit of snacking. I had lost all self-control in the face of a free donut or plate of cookies, and I made justifications for my actions. Excuses like, well, I did go to the gym today. Overall, I eat pretty healthy. It's not like I do this every day, until I started to do it every day. I knew something had to change when, even though I exercise often, I noticed I was developing early onset diabetes. So I decided to quit sugar for 30 days. Now, most of us know that too much sugar is a habit. It's something that we've been taught ever since we were kids. And apart from simply putting a little bit of weight on your gut, there's a lot more serious problems that can come from too much sugar. It can damage your metabolism, cause type 2 diabetes, increase the likelihood that you'll get liver or kidney damage, causes inflammation of the skin, joint pain, tooth decay, and even problems with infection. So yeah, well, probably the main reason, it's not the main reason. Get that out of your head. So on top of all that, on top of all of these bad things that it does to your body, it's also very addictive. So I know the first thing that I want to do right now is go through my entire apartment and find all of the things that have added sugar and get them out of my apartment. I knew I was consuming a decent amount of sugar, but without reading the labels and digging into weekly snacks and meals, I wouldn't know for sure. There were, of course, some no-brainers. Ice cream is loaded, chocolate snacks are packed, my once-a-month energy drink. But I was also surprised to find a lot of sugar in my protein bars. My breakfast cereal is basically a dessert. Even the bread I was buying had 5 grams a slice. If you're like me and you have very little self-control, the only thing you can do to regain control is to completely change your environment. It's impossible to eat snacks that you refuse to purchase and bring into your home in the first place. So all this stuff needs to go. The cravings were the worst for the first couple of days, but even a week in, I was struggling late at night. Alright, so I'm 7 days into this no sugar challenge, and this is probably the toughest night so far. About 45 minutes ago, I had a bit of a sugar craving, and instinctively I went to my snack cabinet, and I'll show you guys what I found. Organic rice cake. Nothing sweet there. Before I started this challenge, I did a little bit of research, but I still had a lot of questions about sugar. What kind of sugar should we be avoiding, and how much is too much? So I asked my friend Becca Schoen to help clear some things up. She's a registered dietitian and founder of Minimal Wellness. I'm hoping you can help me kind of break down when people decide to get sugar out of the diet. What does that usually look like? What kind of sugar does people usually?
Most people, when they're trying to cut out sugar, they're talking about additive. So sugar that gets added, that's like table sugar, honey, corn syrup.
My king, this corn syrup was just delivered.
Generally, it's recommended that you're somewhere under, ideally, 5% of your calories from added sugar. So for a 2,000 calorie diet, that's 25 grams.
And it turns out that added sugar can add up quick. I noticed the high levels in some of my daily snacks and the occasional foods I might get served on the airplane. While my old instinct was to throw food in my mouth, my new instinct was to check the back of the package and then throw my food in.
You're not aiming for 25 grams of sugar every day. It's like over the course of a week, over the course of a month, very high. So that is where you can get the flexibility got off track is we no longer have sugar relegated to desserts or special occasions, right? It's like in everything because
What the fuck?